Hi guys, welcome back to Modern Life for the 70's Mind. As you know, I like to go over some old stuff before we start on the reaction video. I try to go back to the 70's or 60's. What I'm going to show you today is a little bit of everything. I am in the process of writing a book. I'm almost done. Woohoo! It's been like a couple years in the making. And one part of that book is the history of audio formats. And I wanted to show you a couple different formats that maybe you are not familiar with. As you know, let me shut this off. Everyone's familiar with the cassette tape. And I wanted to show you this because I want to use it for a size comparison of some of the other formats I want to show you. So this is a Grundig tape. And this comes off and it goes into the machine. So the tape kind of feeds through down here and it comes around. So it's kind of an interesting looking tape. I doubt many people are familiar with this, but this is made in Germany and it's a Grundig tape. To go a little bigger, I forget the name of these. Echo Tune or something, Echo something. I apologize, I don't remember the name. This is kind of like an 8-track tape, but in a different casing. So just so you can get a feel for it, it's a little bigger than a cassette. And it's the same theory of an 8-track tape. The tape comes out the middle, comes around the outside, and then wraps around the outside, and it just continues that way. Interesting tape. I like it. And it just kind of inserts into the machine just like an 8-track would. This is the exact same concept, but it is a little bigger. Again, I don't remember the name of this. I apologize. And you can see this is now, we're getting bigger. So again, it's a reel. And if you look in the back, you can see it's the same type of thing where well, you really can't see it, but the tape just wraps around, pulls out from the inside and wraps around the outside. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I doubt many people have seen this one. So we're getting bigger. Now this is an RCA tape, a recorded tape. And this looks more like a monster size cassette. So here's a cassette. And here's the RCA Victor. This is basically a reel-to-reel in a cartridge. The quality, as you can see, the tape is wider. It's the width of a reel-to-reel tape, but it's in a cartridge, which was supposed to be easier. I don't think they were real successful, but they're really cool to have. And then I got one more, and for the record, there's a lot more than these. This thing's pretty huge. It's a Ready Tune tape, and this is like a monster size 8-track as well. Same concept as the 8-track player. I think these were used, and if anyone's an expert on these, I have my notes and I could tell you for sure, but I didn't study before this recording. I think these were used in malls for music to play over the speakers at stores and stuff, and the tape would repeat. So that made these really good for that. This one is actually stamped Christmas of 81. Oh, I don't even know if it's 1981. It says Christmas-2-81. So I'm guessing maybe it's 81, so early 80s. But anyways, these are just interesting. There are so many more out there as far as audio formats. And this kind of stuff is what drew me into researching it more and coming up with what's all out there and what's been used in the past. So I hope you find that interesting. I surely do. And all right, let me do this. Let me get my headphones on. We're going to cue this up and we're going to start on the reaction video. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. I hope you like that little bit on the tapes. I have one that's literally probably, I would say, 2.5 times the size of the big one. I think it was the largest audio format that was ever released, and I can't find it. If I ever do find it, I will make sure that I show it to you. I brought everything I thought into the basement, into my room here, but I've searched every box and I can't find it. That was going to be my grand finale, was this big tape, but oh well. Okay, so for our reaction video today, we are going to go back to the 80s, believe it or not, to a band called Tears for Fears. I'm sure everyone's heard about them. When you think of the 80s, one of the top bands that you're going to think about is Tears for Fears. I was really excited to hear that a few months ago they released a new album. So, needless to say, I was anxious to find out what they sounded like and what their songs were about. So I intentionally held off on listening to them until now. So the song we are going to be hearing today is The Tipping Point. I know nothing about it. So I say we just go for it and see where this takes us. So from the group Tears for Fears, they are back. And here's a song called The Turning Point. Nice smooth sound, I like it. Another song you gotta hear with headphones, because the sound's like going. There they are.
Silver tongue will soon be gone when the sunlight hits the room. Lay down with them if you want. Watch their breath and feel the cold. Raise your hand, bite your tongue. Conversation is over and done. We let them out, we let them in. Will you ever know when it's the tipping point? The tipping point. So who's that ghost knocking at my door? You know that I can love you more. What's that shape climbing over my wall? You know that I can love you more.
Whoa, they sound really good. Wow. So when I first heard the title, The Tipping Point, you think of like a teeter-totter. Like, are you going to go one way or the other? Or maybe to put it differently, maybe like a line in the sand. Like once you cross that line in the sand, you've reached that point. Lyrically, I wasn't sure if this was more about relationships or death. I think that's kind of where they're going, one way or the other. I'm kind of leaning probably a little bit more towards death because the song starts out and then they repeat it numerous times. I can't love you more. And I have a feeling that if it was about a relationship that failed, it would say I can't love you less. At least that's a path my relationships have taken in the past. Whatever they're referencing, I think we're definitely at a tipping point here. Sorry. They the reason I say that it's at a tipping point because I wrote a couple lines down that they wrote. One was the conversation is over, and they talked about the cold breath, which is kind of like death. And then it also said there's ghosts at the door. So I'm kind of leaning towards them referencing death. Regarding the video itself, I love the dark grungy, almost look like half dead roses, and the changing of the direction of the light. It kind of reflects movement when there really isn't any. And I didn't notice until just before the roses tipped that the picture was stationary, but the table underneath the roses was moving, almost like a conveyor. And I didn't notice that until just before they tipped. So everything was still, but this table's sliding. The table's sliding, and then once it hits the end, it tipped over. Interesting. I like that. I probably wouldn't have recognized these guys. One has been blessed with hair, and the other not so much. It's pretty clear that their scalps have taken different paths in life. Vocally, though, whoa, amazing. Another song, I always say you got to hear these songs in headphones. This is another one because with their instruments, they're kind of going back and forth on a stereo. So I'm not sure you would pick that up listening without headphones. So yet, here's another one you got to listen with headphones. They haven't lost a thing with their voice. They sound great. Pretty dark video so far. So let's keep going and see where this goes. We're already, I think, more than halfway done with the video. So let's see where this goes.
Winter dawn will soon be gone from this unforgiving place to that vague and distant void where the sunlight splits the eye. Life is cruel, life is tough, life is crazy, then it all turns to dust. We let 'em out, we let 'em in. Will you ever know when it's the tipping point, the tipping point, the tipping point, the tipping point?
Yeah, a lot of emotion. Awesome video.
So who's that ghost knocking at my door? You know that I can love you more. What's that shape?
Oh, that was cool. I gotta stop that. That was really cool. It's creepy as hell, right? It looks like a graveyard scene or something, and they're talking about a ghost, and there's no doubt we're referencing death now because this figure kind of forms out of the smoke and rises from either the grave. It looks like it's coming from under a hill, so maybe from the grave it's rising up. Let's play that again, and then I will play this to the end. Let's go back to here and see if this is right.
So who's that ghost knocking at my door? You know that I can love you more. What's that shape climbing over my wall? You know that I can love you more, love you more, love you more, love you more.
Okay, good enough. Wow, I really like that. Really powerful video, and the lyrics are a little difficult for me to be 100% sure what I'm talking about, but I'm going to give you my best shot. I'm convinced that the tipping point, like I said, is death, and it has been crossed. And there's reasons I think that. There's roses dumped on the ground. The house, I think, flies away. There's one part where the girl basically tips over and somebody flew out the window. Everything points to me like we have now reached the tipping point, or we've crossed over that line in the sand. And it looks like, to me, that this is centering around the girl. At least to me it did. Like the girl is leaving the earth. The only part that confused me was at the end there's two people floating away, one guy and one girl. off the top of my head, and please don't crucify me if I'm wrong. The only way I can kind of maybe see what that means, maybe, is when one person dies, a part of the other person goes as well. Just tossing it out there for you to chew on a little bit. This is really, really a dark song. The lyrics are, like I said, packed with emotions, especially when they were going the tipping point, the tipping point, the tipping point. And he's going like this. Whatever they're singing about, it's very heartfelt. And because of that, it seems like the lyrics obviously are going to be very close to the heart, very honest and sincere lyrics. Anything else I can think of? The frosting on the cake, though, is the absolutely stunning vocals and the harmonizing that these guys are pulling off. They gotta be now in like their 60s. So kudos to them. What an interesting video. So let me do this. Let me get these headphones off like I always do, and then we will wrap it up and I'll give you my final thoughts. And I am back, guys. I liked it. I'm kind of curious what you guys think of it, so I would really appreciate comments as far as what your take was on this, or if you feel I was completely off base with how I interpreted it. It's really hard when you're looking at something for the first time and you're kind of guessing as you go along. So I mean, I don't get the benefit. I guess I could, but it wouldn't make for a real exciting video if I just played the whole video and then gave you my thoughts. Part of the fun for me, and I hope part of the fun for you, is to kind of go along with the ride of listening to the song and kind of get a feel for where it takes you. This is definitely one that I found extremely interesting, and I will have to go back and listen to this maybe a time or two. And I think the video and the lyrics actually went together quite well. Sometimes you get these videos where the lyrics and the video are almost like two different things, but these seem to go together really well, each telling maybe like a slightly different part of the same story. So the video is great. The darkness of the whole video, I think, set the mood, and I really feel that symbolism, there was so much symbolism in this video. I think that really kind of directed us through the song. So I loved it. I'm so happy that they've come out with something and that they sound good, because I really can't say enough about the vocals. They sounded great. And like I said, they got to be in their 60s by now. So for them to be at that age and sound as good, if not better, than they did back in the 80s is crazy. I always felt that Tears for Fears left a little too soon from the music scene. So I'm glad that they've come back and that they're putting out some quality music. I'm going to now be looking forward to hearing other songs off their album. Okay, guys, I hope you liked it. If you did, please click the thumbs up below. And if you would subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it so much. I'm kind of new here, so I'm trying to get my subscriber list up. And if you can share this video, that would help me even more. Okay, guys, until next time, peace out. Talk to you soon.